Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from YourBlackWorld.com, and I just went out tonight to the movies. For people who think that I work all the time, that's not true. I take time to do things that I want to do, and in fact, I love my work so much that I don't feel like I've worked a day in my life, or at least not for the last 20 years. So the line between work and play is kind of blurry for me. One of the things I did tonight was I went to see the new Quentin Tarantino, Jamie Foxx film called Django Unchained, and I have to say that I thought it was extraordinary. Spike Lee didn't seem to like the concept, but I'm really trying to figure out exactly what Spike Lee was referring to because I thought the movie was great. To talk about this issue, I wanted to bring in one of our outstanding entertainment bloggers, Miss Asa Lovechild. She is on the line. How you doing today, Asa?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm fine. Now, Asa Lovechild, is that the name? Did I call you by the right name, or what name do you like for people to use when they refer to you?
Oh yeah, that's right. It's Angela Asa Lovechild Arnold.
Oh, okay. Just checking, because I know you're so talented and you can take on a lot of roles and a lot of characters. In fact, you're one of the more talented actresses, singers, etc. that I've ever seen in my life. And so I know you're respected in New York. I think pretty soon people all over the country are going to know all about you. Now, you and I were discussing this new film and Spike Lee's issues with it, etc. Did you see the film, and what did you think?
I absolutely loved it. I thought it was Quentin Tarantino at his best. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So it was definitely in the style of A Blaze of Glory, as Quentin Tarantino films are always in the style of A Blaze of Glory. The bang, bang, shoot 'em up, the hero getting their revenge in the end. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I thought the cinematography was extraordinary. I even like Pulp Fiction 18 years ago. And if you recall, Samuel L. Jackson was in that too. So apparently Samuel respects Tarantino's work himself. And what's interesting is that Samuel, I presume, has a close relationship with Spike Lee, who kind of had some problems with the film. I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think some of that criticism was warranted?
I really don't think that Spike Lee at this point has a valid leg to stand on. And the same incident happened with the movie The Help when it came out. There was a lot of African Americans who were refusing to even patronize the movie simply because Viola Davis was playing a maid. And, of course, the stigmatism that comes with a maid, it kind of touched a sore spot with a lot of African Americans. And I think the same thing is happening here, but my problem is you cannot really have an opinion about something that you haven't seen. And in Spike's case, I think that he's really going off the deep end about a movie and about the content of the movie when he hasn't even seen it or even given the movie a chance.
Well, I will say that, I don't put this film in the same category as The Help or, say, a Driving Miss Daisy kind of film because, first of all, I think my issue with The Help actually had to do with what happened behind the scenes. I saw where there was a lawsuit where the woman who wrote The Help had characters that were named after her sister's maid. And basically her sister's maid was suing her and saying, look, the main character's name is very similar to mine. The story is very similar to mine, and the court didn't pay her anything. And then that kind of thing, angers me, this idea of anybody stealing someone's idea. But, all throughout history, white folks have taken our ideas and made them their own. And I do believe that this woman, I think there's a very good chance that she didn't actually originate this idea. So I think that's what probably bothered me about that film. But I think when I think about Django, what I loved about Django was that, it was a great love story. You have a black man saving a black woman. The black man was a legitimate hero in the film. He wasn't just a sidekick who got lucky. He was actually a strong black man throughout this film. And then, on top of that, I think, in Tarantino's own way, to the extent that some of this was historically accurate in terms of the brutality of slavery, the portrayal of slavery in this film was very different from what a lot of white folks get when they go to school. A lot of black folks too. And I think that sort of seeing how horrible slavery was, at least in this sort of mild way, in a film that's obviously fiction, but hopefully they did some research on this. I think that really putting slavery in the faces of the audience members kind of lets them know that slavery wasn't a game. Slavery wasn't, a polite little experience. It was actually quite painful for the people who had to go through it. So I give Tarantino triple thumbs up. I think this is probably his best movie ever. What do you think?
I think it could be up there with one of his best movies ever. I'm of course a Kill Bill fan, but Django Unchained having a black hero, especially an African American male as a black hero, has definitely set the bar high, even for African American film directors who come behind Tarantino and try to create or write our own stories. I definitely think that he has set a precedent in regards to the images of our black males on film. I definitely enjoyed the fact that he captured, and here's a spoiler alert, that he captured the love relationship between Jamie Foxx's character and Kerry Washington's character, Brunhilde, it was a very clean-cut way, but it's very rare that you get to see a black couple who's actually in love with one another. A lot of times the male and female, especially in a lot of African American movies that I've seen, have been at odds with one another. And here you've got a genuine example of pure black love.
Yeah, and you gotta love black love. It's very real, and it does exist in the lives of millions of people. And I don't, I watched the film, and I was kind of prepared for anything, especially because I know Tarantino is a weirdo. I know that he can make a lot of movies that just do weird stuff, and I knew it was going to be violent, which I was prepared for that. That wasn't a big deal to me, but I've seen him just really do things that are offensive and strange and everything else. And I said, I hope this guy doesn't do anything that's going to make me upset. And he didn't. I mean, the people in the theater that I was in, they started clapping and cheering when the movie was over. What about your theater? Did they do the same thing?
Well, they started clapping at the beginning of the movie. at turn of events, and throughout the process, there was a lot of clapping. It was a very eclectic audience. There wasn't a dominance of any ethnic groups in the theater, which was very, very surprising to me. And the response was one that was very, very universal. So it wasn't where you would look over and you would see black counterparts laughing at a certain point or clapping at a certain point or white counterparts doing the same. It was almost like it was a universal effect. It's almost like everybody was coming together with the same general understanding.
Yeah, I agree. The same thing was true in my theater. It wasn't all white, wasn't all black. It was very mixed, and it was full, and everybody loved it, and I loved it too. So I want to say thank you so much, Miss Asa Lovechild Arnold, for giving me your time. Thank you, and thank you all for checking us out at yourblackworld.com. And I think on this phone, or at least in this conversation, the opinion is unanimous. We think Django Unchained is a great film. We think it's worth seeing. It'll probably win some awards. So until we meet again, please. Yeah, I agree. So until we meet again, please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. We are gone. Peace.